Hello everybody, welcome to LilyLuLou. If you're new here, my name's Karen, I'm the Junk Journal Geek, and today I am here to work on the Junk Journal Geeks group weekly challenge. And the challenge this week is concerning fabrics and laces. So I'm going to work with these images that I have had in my stash for quite some time, a couple of years I think. I have used some of them before, and these are some of the ones I have left that I've pulled out. I believe these were from Little Lady Papery on Etsy, but I know that one of her, I think these are from two different kits, and I know one of them is no longer available, so I will try and link the kit that is still available in the description box below. I'm not sure what I'm going to use, and I'm not sure what's from which kit, so I can't be any more specific than that, I'm afraid. So the challenge this week is to make something, and it can be anything, a piece of ephemera, a journal page, whatever you want, but some lace or fabric is to be the focal point. By the time this video goes up, we will be on next week's challenge. But I like to let everybody have their own interpretation of what they're going to do before I pop mine up. So that's why this is going to be late. But if you like the idea of a challenge, there's a new one every Monday, and it's always quite simple, and there's no pressure to take part. There's no prize. It's literally just, you know, to give you a little bit of a kickstart or a bit of inspiration, just for fun, just to play. So I've got an idea of what I want to do, but I'm not sure which of these pictures I'm going to use and how I'm going to make this work. I think for my first one, because I might do more than one, I'm just going to use these and do simple little journal cards and just zhuzh them up a bit with a bit of 3D texture. So I'm going to cut this one out first. I've got a little bag of assorted leftover bits and pieces on my desk. I have my box of laces, which should have all of my laces in, but actually only has some of my laces, and the rest are chucked in the leftover bag because I'm a bit lazy when it comes to tidying up when I've finished. And as we all know, I'm useless at cutting a straight line, so we're just going with what we've got. And I've also got some string here that I thought might come in useful, although I think it's too thick. And I've got some, whenever I sew my signatures in, I always have bits left over. And I always save them because you never know when they might come in useful. So I've got those next to me as well. Oh, I've got an itchy nose. So how are you all today? I hope you're all well and happy. It's very, very hot here today. It's not very hot in the grand scheme of things, but for Ireland it's very hot. And it's going to get hotter later. And I should be ironing because I've got to pack my case. I'm going to England in a couple of days to see all my family. Sorry, I'm just rummaging here, and I realised I'm rummaging off camera. I should be doing it here, shouldn't I? Yes, I'm going over to England for a couple of days to see my family, so I need to pack my bag. And I've done loads of washing, and I haven't done any ironing because it's been too hot. So now I've got to do some ironing. So really, I should be doing that now because it's going to get hotter later. I wanted to play instead. So I'm being naughty. I'm skiving and playing in my craft room. But it's only me going, so if I don't have any clothes to wear, it's my own fault, isn't it? I'm looking for what I want on here. I say these are going to be very simple. They might take me a while, but the ideas that I've had are simple. I want to pop something on there where the lace is, so that it's like coming out of the page. So I just need a little bit that's sort of similar. It doesn't need to be similar, but I want it to be similar. You know, I want to pop something on like that. I'm really sorry, I've got a really, really itchy nose. I don't know what that's all about. Oh, well, maybe I do. I've just brushed the dog. Probably got dog hairs up my nose. Lovely. So I'm just looking for something that I can pop on there that will look nice. And it looks like that is white, but not as white as that. I'm sure I must have the perfect piece in here somewhere. Where is it? I think I've just tried some of that, haven't I? Oh no, that's different. That is different. Maybe I could cut a strip of this off. That might work. That's too narrow. So on all of these different cards that I've chosen, this is the sort of thing that I thought I would do. So as I say, I'm just having a rummage to find, that's the one I want, that way. So let's just pop those bits up there for a moment. I've also got some crochet cotton here as well, because I've got an idea for one of these other ones that I might do. So what I want to do is have that on there somehow. I'm just deciding whether I should, or if I bunched it up in the middle like that, it will be a bit, I don't know if you can see on the picture, it's sort of twisted there. So if I bunched this up, maybe I should stitch this on, bunch that up there, then we can have that sort of twisted bit sticking up there, and this bit, I want it coming out of the picture, if you see what I mean. I might need to glue it in place as well. Maybe stitch and glue is the way to go. So let me grab my sewing box and find a needle. Do I have a needle with some white thread in already? No, that would be far too simple, wouldn't it? Let's pop that needle there. And do I have any white thread floating about here? Not in that box. Some there. Right. Now my little embroidery scissors are in my sewing machine, so I'll get those out and then we can get rid of that. So let me know if you are taking part in the challenge, and if you would like to take part in the challenge, there is a hashtag and it's JJG Weekly Challenge. Well, it'll be on here around this video somewhere. Right, let's thread the needle. Oh, look at that. First time. Yes, it'll be on the video somewhere, around the video, in the description or in the title or somewhere. So I think what I'll do is I will do some gathering stitches here to sort of bunch that up, and it will hide my big knot that I don't usually knot when I'm sewing, but I have there because I want to make sure it actually stays in. And then I'm going to stitch this through the card, which is quite tough because the card is quite thick that I've printed this image on, and then I've got this bunched up lace to to get through as well. I was thinking about getting little scraps of all different trims and sticking them on all of these pieces, but I thought that would be too much, a bit over the top. I just want this, you know, just wanted one piece as like a statement piece, if you like. So I don't know if I am going to need glue, you know. I just want to come back. I'm just doing this with running stitch, nothing fancy, but hopefully it won't be too visible. Now I'm saying that this is going to be a journal card. If we were really using it as an actual journal card, it might be a bit of a problem having lace on the front and sewing on the back, because it'll be a bit lumpy to write on. And also then when we try to put it in a pocket, it might get damaged, you know, or the lace will catch. So yeah, I quite like that, and I don't think it does need glue on there. So let's just oops. Finish that off the back and hope it holds. So we could cover the back with something, you know, to make it more journal friendly and hide this. Or we could use this as a pocket in a journal. So if we just stuck it down on 3 sides, you know, you could pop something behind it or at the side. So that's our first one. That's quite cute, isn't it? So this is my statement piece, my feature. And then what else did I see here that I thought I might do? That was all on that page. On this one, I was thinking of using this, you know, to mimic the bows and add a bit of dimension there. I know it's not fabric or lace, but you know, that sort of thing. I probably won't do that on camera because my finger's going to be covering up what I'm doing as I try to do that, so won't be a lot to see. I was also thinking on this one if I could make little numbers and stitch them on, but again, that's not fabric or lace, but it is adding texture and dimension. And this was the one where I got the string out because I thought I could have the string holding the scissors on, but obviously that string is too thick for that picture. But that's where possibly the crochet trim might have come in handy, so that could have done that on there. But I'm not going to do all of these different ideas on camera because we'll be here all day and you get the gist of what I'm doing. But what I thought I might do is, I like this one. Let's get the craft knife out to cut, because that will probably be straighter than me trying to do it with the scissors. So I do that trick every time. I hold it upside down, slide the knife out, and slide it into the palm of my hand. Yeah, I thought I might do this one and stitch a button on. So we'll cut this one out, I'll find a button, we'll do that, and then by then you should, do you know, I'm just thinking now, the one next to it, I don't think I have any of the right colour sari silk or seam binding, but if I did, oops, come on, if I did, this one would be lovely with a fancy button with some ribbon or sari silk underneath it. I wonder if I, let me pause while I go and find my box of whitish buttons. I'll be back in a sec. Right, I'm back again. On my hunt for my buttons. Guess what I found? I've got some pale pink seam binding in here. Sorry for the crinkly noise. So I don't know if that's going to work, but yeah, we'll have a go at that one as well, shall we? So first of all, I've got my posh button box here with my fancy buttons in. Oh, I can see straight away. My pick slid under my thingy. One of those on there. Oh yes, very nice. Look, see, it's meant to be, isn't it? I'm meant to do it. Right, now I want a button like that for there. Do I have one? These buttons are, I bought these and they were all, you know, sort of cream and white. Beautiful buttons. I don't want one like that, do I? Because that's got a shank on it, and if I want to stitch it on to card, I really want a flat one. So something like that, but smaller. I want a dinky, 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 tiny button, really, don't I? My fingers are too fat to get in here. Don't like that one. Well, that's an interesting one. I think that's for a cufflink, isn't it? Not sure. I could put a clear one on. That might be quite nice. I think we might use that one. If you don't enjoy button rummaging, you will not be enjoying this video. See, that's got a little doobry on the back, so it's not really practical for what we want. I'm just seeing if I've got an even tinier one, and then I could put two on. Oh, there's a little tiny one there. Can I get hold of it? I should have my tweezers out, but they're still packed in with the cricket stuff. It's not much tinier. It looked much tinier, unless I picked up a different one. They're all the same size, aren't they? I know I've got some really, really, really eeny weeny tiny white buttons, but they are really bright white, and there'll be two. This needs vintagey buttons, which is what's in here. They're the same size. Right, so I can't see anything any smaller. Or can I? Is that one smaller? That one is slightly smaller. There we go. Persistence pays off, doesn't it? That's the same. Okay, let's go with those two, shall we? I keep deciding, I started having my buttons sorted, no I didn't. I started sorting my buttons into colour families, and then I decided I like rummaging. I like to rummage in a big tin of buttons. So I do also have buttons that are just all in a big tin, and what I would really like is to have, to get my needle through this card for a start, is to have a nice big glass dish. Once I've got shelves in my craft room, I'm still working out of boxes that everything was packed in at the moment, which is why I have trouble finding things. What I would like is to have a shelf with a great big open glass dish on it, with loads and loads of buttons in the glass dish. I think it would look pretty, and I love buttons, so I would like to look at that and rummage when I want something. Oh, I've just pulled my thread back through. That was clever, wasn't it? But I haven't found, every time we go into a charity shop, I have a look for a nice glass dish. I haven't found the right thing yet. So I'm just getting this, just trying to get hold of the thread at the back to hold on to it so I don't pull it through again. But because I've got fat fingers, it's a bit more difficult than it sounds. Yes, so I'm on the hunt for, and it's got to be the right dish. It's got to be sort of a shallow, wide dish rather than a deep dish, so that I can actually rummage and get to the things. But in the meantime, I do have some big glass jars. I was thinking of tipping all my buttons in there, because at the moment they're in tins, which I like, because a couple of the tins are, you know, they've been hanging around for years. They've got a bit of memory attached to them, which I like as well. I'm just going to try and, I'm just trying to get my thread around the other thread to hold it down. Yes, so I like the tins I have, but you can't really see what you've got. And again, it's nice to have a rummage, but I think a glass dish would be a nice compromise. And then maybe just have some of my buttons sorted into little jars in colours. So I'm umming and ahhing at the moment whether that's a job I actually want to do or not. It's easy to have them in colour families when you're looking for, you know, something specific. But when you're playing, it can be inspirational. You know, it triggers your inspiration to have a little route around all the things you've got, isn't it? Well, that's what I find anyway. Let me know what you think. Do you agree? Everybody's different, don't they? Everybody has their own way of doing things. There's no right and wrong. It's just what's right and wrong for you, isn't it? I seem to be making a meal of sewing buttons on. I don't do this in real life. When my husband wants anything done, if he wants a hem taken up or a button sewn on, he's like, could you take that to your mum? I only sew on paper. No, that's not true. I don't only sew on paper, but I only sew for fun. I don't do practical sewing. I don't like it. It's like ironing, isn't it? I hate ironing clothes, but I love ironing paper and ribbons. Right, so that's that one. I know this isn't fabric or lace, but it's still texture, so we're still filling the brief. So that's number 2. And then the last one, I'm going to put some ribbon down and hold it down with one of these buttons. Now these buttons are on a shank, so what I might do is sew them onto the seam binding and then stick the seam binding down. And then at least you've seen a variety of techniques. We've have some gluing as well as the sewing. It's not all been the same thing. Oh, I'm doing well today, threading these needles on camera. Very unusual. Right, where's the end? Can I find an end? It's probably in the middle, isn't it? Now, someone's going to ask me where I got this seam binding, and I can't remember. It was either Etsy or eBay, but I can't remember which. Right, what I want to do is have that piece going along there. Have that in the middle. I'm cutting this a little bit longer than I'm going to need. Well, I might, yeah, I'm cutting it a bit longer than I'm going to need it. This piece is going to go behind here, so it hangs down there. And I'm going to sew the button onto the whole lot. So I'm going to attach these 2 pieces together first. Hold everything in place. Try not to pull my thread straight through. Again, I like doing that. Oopsie. Right, that should be sufficient to hold everything where it needs to be. So now let's pop this puppy on. Oh, for goodness sake, I can't even pick my needle up. Fingers are not cooperating. I know this pink is a bit bright compared to the pink on the picture is probably more cream than pink. It looks like a real baby pink. Very, very pale pink. I can't get my needle through everything now. But it was the closest I had, and as I found it while I was looking for my box of buttons, I thought it's meant to be. This probably looks a right mess, what I'm doing here, but I know what I'm doing. Hopefully it's obvious to you what I'm doing. Literally just attaching this button to those 2 pieces of seam binding. And I've unthreaded my needle again. Goodness me. Get lots of practice at threading the needle today. Are we going to have one of those moments now, aren't we? After me saying how well I was doing threading the needle on camera. Now I'm going to struggle. That's it. Right. Where was I? At the back. Okay. Can't remember how many times I've been through the buttons. I think I just do this one and then one more, and then hopefully that should hold it. That one and one more. If I can find the hole, of course. Okie dokie, so that's that. Now I need probably art glitter glue. I don't think this needs the hot glue. I think the art glitter glue will do it. We shall see, won't we? How well it holds. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue along there and just a bit down there, because I want this to have a bit of movement as well. And then I'm going to pop my button in the middle. I might need to add a bit more glue where the button is in a minute, but we'll see how we go. Right, that piece is stuck on nicely. That piece has. Just pop a little bit more down here, just to get that there. It wants to curl there. So let's decide what we're going to do. Might have to stick it to there because of that curl in the fabric. We'll just chop that bottom bit off there. Let's give these just a little bit of ink, because they are sort of aged in the photo, so that will just help to disguise where I've cut them out of the white card. So there we go. We've got 3 what could be journal cards or pockets, or you could even embellish these further and then use them as journal toppers, couldn't you? So there we go. That's what we've made today. So I hope you like those. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're joining in. Don't forget to use the hashtag, and I will see you again in another few days. In the meantime, take care, look after yourselves, and enjoy your own crafty time. Bye bye.